I'm in here today. So, here we are. I am renoing my bedroom. Renoing?
Renoing.
I am currently redoing my bedroom and things are a mess. Well, things are a mess in here too, but like they're really a mess in there. So I thought I would film in here today. And since I have no kids, well, I have kids, but they're at their dad. You know what? We're in here today. So hi, how are you? It's been a few days. Thank you guys for all of your love and all of your hate on my Gabby Hanna video for her music video. Just want to say I've absolutely had the chorus to that fucking song stuck in my head ever since, and I kind of want to die. It's very catchy. It's caught, and I wish I could let it go. So I had a couple things I wanted to talk about today, and while I was putting this video together, I stumbled across something else. So I came in here to talk about one thing that is actually going to be part of this video, but I also was going to come in here and talk about, I was already here. I was going to come on here and talk about Jeffree Star and what's going on with him and his ex-boyfriend and the whole situation where there's just an article released today about him allegedly having sexually assaulted and just generally assaulted people. And I was gonna go on a big long diatribe about that, but I feel like I don't really want to touch on that yet. I guess for me, with that whole situation, the only thing I'm gonna say about it in this video is that I haven't seen anyone who's surprised. So while I was like putting this together, I came across a video that tanamongeau uploaded called 10 Things Tanamongeau Can't Live Without. And I was intrigued. Why? I have no idea. So I thought, what better thing to talk about today than the 10 things that tanamongeau can't live without? Because if there's anything more pressing in the present day era of things that are pressing, this is important. Let's all make sure we pay attention. So Tana did a big long intro. She claims in her video, and I went back and listened to it twice, and I kind of wish I went back and listened to it a third time, because in the intro of her video I thought she said she was so sober. Just a spoiler alert, she smokes so much weed that I think even properly socially distanced, you would get a pretty solid contact high. I understand there's a lot of conflicting opinion or conflicting information, I guess would be the better way to put it, when it comes to marijuana. I understand it's not a drug, it's a plant. I don't have any problem with marijuana use. I don't use it myself because if I did, I would never leave my couch, because that's the kind of marijuana consumer I was back when I participated. However, that said, I understand that it's also medicinal. I understand there are different strains. I understand marijuana, okay? I'm not sitting here condemning marijuana, but you are not gonna go ahead and say, I'm sober, and then continue to smoke marijuana, because you're not. You're just not. It's mind altering to some degree. You're not sober, and you're clearly reliant on it recreationally. Now to the point in her intro, which was the part of her intro, which was the part that I was actually going to make a video about. Tana brings up the fact that she wanted to trade nudes for votes. Basically, her whole idea was, you proved to me you voted for Joe Biden, and I'm gonna send you a picture of my ass. I know I gave her a lot of shit for not saying anything on National Voter Registration Day, and how, you know, she wasn't upholding her claim that she was going to be a better person for her viewers, and to stay involved, and this is one way to really stay involved, I guess. Before this video, Tana had tweeted it out that she was going to do this. She deleted this tweet shortly thereafter. Thanks to the always fabulous Duff Noodles, I was able to snag this here screenshot. This is his, not mine, because I sleep, he doesn't. The funny thing about this is that it's actually illegal. And I feel like most people would be able to say trading nudes for votes doesn't sound legal, right? Like, I mean, that doesn't sound legal. It sounds like a great way to get votes, which is why it's illegal. It falls under the umbrella of electoral fraud, and more specifically, vote buying. That can be an exchange of money for votes. It can be an exchange of goods. It can be an exchange of used goods. In order to persuade a voter to vote in a particular way. That's exactly what this is, and I think someone alerted her to that, and that's why she deleted it. The fact that she kept it in this video, though, is... She says something like, if you got those pictures, you're lucky, and basically alluding to the fact that there aren't going to be any more, but, like, you still did it. Like, you still fucking did it. I'm already voting for Biden, but, like, if the only offer is that she's gonna send nudes, I only want a picture of tanamongeau in a snowsuit getting the fuck away from me. This particular subsect of election fraud is basically punishable by 1 to 5 years in prison. But to be fair, prison would be a great place for Tana to learn how to read. Tana then goes on to apologize a little bit for her apologies, saying that she already filmed a whole long thing apologizing for her apology, and she's going to continue to apologize for her apology until she apologizes for the apology correctly enough that we accept it or move on or forget about it or whatever. Does it look like I've been crying? What is this sad clown thing I've got going on here? You know, she just tosses a bunch of word salad talking about I'm not regressing, holding myself accountable. You know, I personally, I don't know how you hold yourself accountable while you're in the middle of the sweaty, crowded confines of the hype house, but that's just me. I look like Kylo Ren. Is that what this hair is doing for me? I can't believe she tried to trade nudes for fucking votes. What an idiot. Eventually, we get into the video. She kind of calls herself a knockoff David Dobrik. If David Dobrik gave me a Tesla, I would trade it in for money. I just want money. I just pay off my house. When we get into the video, she's immediately already laughing like an idiot and already smoking weed, you know, because of the sobriety. Again, I want to be clear. I don't want to speak on sobriety because I don't have a substance abuse issue, right? And it's not my place to say what is or what isn't sobriety for everybody. You know what I mean? People who suffered with, you know, a heroin addiction can down the line go to a family get together and have a beer and be fine. And you know, I know different substances are different triggers for certain things. I'm not trying to get into the intricacies of sobriety because that's an incredibly personal journey for everybody who has made it to sobriety, and not even made it to, but is continuing on a journey of sobriety, because it doesn't just end when you stop, you know. But I think so, I just feel like for Tana, I feel like the word sober or sobriety was the wrong word. So the first thing Tana can't live without, of course, is a palette of Bic lighters.
Obviously.
We all have a palette of Bic lighters in our home, which is quickly followed up by backwoods blunts, for which the third thing on her list, which of course is weed. Tana openly admits she doesn't roll her own, which makes her a poser. So not only are you lying about being sober, you're a poser. You can't even roll your own shit. What kind of example are you? And let's not forget,
Smoking weed is a personality trait.
and if tanamongeau and Gabby Hanna are not proof that,
Smoking weed is a personality trait.
then I don't know who is. This video was so poorly put together that I couldn't tell if she was being serious about some of these. But the next one was Arrowhead water, like a bottle. She was drinking a bottle of Arrowhead water. That it's the best water.
Groundbreaking.
The next thing Tana can't live without is a fucking sponsorship from Dollar Shave Club.
Really? Really? Really?
Well, that gives me hope for future sponsorships.
I shave.
Next is a bottle of booze. Big bottle of fancy booze. sobriety. Like, I knew she couldn't define accountability, but I thought for sure she'd be able to define sobriety. I don't want to belittle sobriety. I just think it was an interesting thing to mention at the top of the video, and then proceed to not only smoke a bunch of weed, but to list both weed and alcohol as 10 of the things you can't live without. And for me, if it's on a list of things that you can't live without, I'm questioning your sobriety. The next one is some fucking Gucci perfume.
Tana by Tana.
Next one is some fucking eyelashes, because if you can't poke your neighbor with your eyelashes, you are not beautiful enough. The next thing tanamongeau can't live without is AirPods. AirPods and sad music. I have expensive wireless earphones and emotions. Can't live without them. If you are keeping track, this is number 10, right? Number 10 is a disposable camera, which Tana clearly doesn't seem to be very familiar with, despite not being able to live without it. And then casually drops in there that she wrote a book. Tana can't read a book. There's no way in holy hell tanamongeau could sit down and read an entire book, let alone write one. I'm so excited for this. That's a book review that's gonna happen on this channel. Then we move on to number 11 on the 10 things that tanamongeau can't live without.
It's a small backpack with stuff in it.
Like sunglasses, which she claims are another thing she can't live without.
So that's number 12 on the list of 10 things tanamongeau can't live without.
Number 13 is fish oil supplements.
On the list of 10 things tanamongeau can't live without.
Because health and counting.
She can't read. There's no way.
And then, like, numbers 14 through 20 were, like, all her friends and Jordan, her manager, and... So, in conclusion, I am absolutely dumber now, and I just spent an inordinate amount of time watching tanamongeau be a moron. I wish I had nicer things to say about her, but, like, I simply don't.
I'm really looking forward to reviewing that book.
I'll also be reviewing Gabby Hanna's book when it comes out later this month, because I want it to be as good as Adultolescence, which I didn't read, but I may as well have, because I watched enough commentary channels pull it apart. I think there's a metaphor in there somewhere. This is it for today. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you didn't like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. I make videos whenever the hell I feel like it, and I'll see you in the next one. Kylo Ren, signing out.